Okay, so next step then is rigging. So there's our little buggy board, and you have some controllers. Those red ones, they are the red controllers on the right. So there's the body controller, so we can go to our move tool and we select that spline, and then we can move our buggy around, and you see that I haven't done the left hand yet, so it's just the right hand. You can see how the geometry follows the joints and how all the legs can be all nicely animated separately. There they are. And there's also the elbow control. Okay, so here we go. We got something there as well. So to get from there, to get from here, so computer is pretty laggy here. There we go. So to get from here to here, we need to do a number of steps. Oh dear, it's a bit laggy, and I apologize in advance. Here we go. So that's how we start. So let's just go back to our buggy board. And it is very laggy. Maybe I find the time to edit the video and you won't have to look for as much. So what I would like you to do is, so first of all, everything that we need is in that character panel. So you just go on character, click on that little ribbon there, and then drag that ribbon into there. So now we have all those tools available to us. The tool that we'll be using mostly will be the joint tool. And I would say that we start from the top view. So I hit F2. I will have a look at buggy from the top. And with animation, usually you need to start somewhere. And if I hit H, it should center that nicely where we want it to have. So your pelvis is pretty much where everything happens, okay? So you move the pelvis and then the rest of your body moves along. So let's just put the pelvis on this one here. So with the joint tool, there are two options. There is, have a look here. So again, click on the joint tool, and down here you have the modifier. So if you press Control, you draw a joint. If you press Shift, you split a joint, and doing nothing or just left mouse click is moving. So let's just put one here. So I do Control to draw one and click it here. And then I put one right under the antenna there. There's the antenna, and click again. So now we did our first bone. Fantastic. So now we want to go to our F4, so our side view, because we are starting at 0 and that's not quite right. So again, we want to hit H to, sorry, it was F3 actually. It's our right view, and again H, very laggy. H, and now we want to bring that down. So it's a little bit high, okay? So we grab our first joint object and we use our move tool and we bring it down to somewhere there, the center of our little buggy board. And then we continue from this view actually. I have our second joint selected, go back to our joint tool and keep on clicking for our antenna. The antenna will give us a little bit of wiggle later on with a little bit of physics. So we want to have a number of joints there in order to have a nice wobbly shape. If it's just one joint, then it will be very stiff. But if we want this to look flexible, we need to put several more joints in there. So again, Control key, go up to the beginning or maybe the end of the housing, and then, oh dear, I didn't do that one. There's a root null. Oh, that's something that I don't want, but we can fix that in a minute, okay? And then I click Control again, and again, and again, and again, and maybe they're right at the top. So that's about it. So these are all antennae. So let's grab them here, all of them. So with Shift click, grab all of them and put them underneath joint 2 and delete the root. Okay, so what happened here is by default in the joint tool we are getting the null, the root null there. It makes us a null object there for the root, which is not particularly great. So let's just untick that one. All good so far. Now let's go back to our top view. And I'm just drawing the basic the basic bones in there. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is we want to go back to our joint one, which is there number 1, and this time in our joint tool we want to switch on the symmetry, and we say draw it, because we don't want to do the left leg and the right leg individually if Cinema 4D can do that for us, and everything else is good. The plane is the YZ, that's fantastic. Okay, so we split here, so we go shift. Something else I want to do is we want to enable snap. Okay, so then we do 2D snapping. We don't want, so that's on now. And we also want to do axis snap. Okay, so we want to switch that on. If I click on it, we have vertex snap currently, we have axis snap, and we have 2D snapping. And because we are doing everything in top view, 2D snapping is fine. So let's just get rid of the vertex snap. And let's have a look again. So we enable that one, and we have the axis snap. That's good. That's what we want to do. So click. So we want to do shift and click in the center of the original. Click, and you will see it will put a second joint there. Okay. And then we switch over to control, and somewhere in the middle of that sphere we're going to go click again, and that's a little bit short in our symmetry there, but let's just go with it. Okay, and then again control, click again, and I don't like that. We haven't positioned it properly in the 0, that's our problem, but that's okay, we'll do that in a second. Yeah, you missed that one, but that's okay. So click again, and at the very end you want to have a final joint there, and that's it. And because our initial joint wasn't quite on 0, so if you have a look at the coordinates, in the X it was, in the Y it was, so I don't know why we are not symmetrical here. I think our buggy board is not quite symmetrical. Now, and that's it, and then you just keep on doing this forever and ever. Go back to joint 1, and we want to split. Use the first one there, we split again, it gives us the second one, and then control, go here, and do that one after the other. Click, click, and at the end, and then again shift at the very first one, the joint one, shift, and then control, 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 and you are done with the basics.